Ah well, mon nom s'appelle SK, original.
Hello YouTubers, hello, it's Melissa, the M of the MNH of Bespoke Hairstyles. I hope you're well and I hope you're good. Thank you for watching this posting. This is to answer a question that was asked by somebody just today, and I thought I'd quickly do a video because the question is very important, and I thought rather than sending a text message back, let me do a video, because if that person's asking that question, then the other people across the waters as well will have the same question. So this is what I'm trying to answer. This is like serious. I've written all the information down that I need to share because I don't want to miss anything. And the question she asks is, I'm getting ready to get Sisterlocks and I'm a little nervous because I want to be sure that the consultants I choose is actually installing Sisterlocks and not something else, trying to pass them off as Sisterlocks. What are some of the things I should ask for? Right, so I'm putting myself in your shoes. You're new to Sisterlocks and you want to make sure you choose the right consultant. So the first thing I would say is please research Sisterlocks. Sisterlocks is not an overnight thing. Research Sisterlocks. When you go on the blogs and you've gone to the sisterlocks.com and you've gone onto like the public forums and you actually ask the questions and check out people's blogs, you begin to have a clearer understanding of the commitment to Sisterlocks. As well as that, you'll have a clearer understanding on how other people have chosen their consultants. The answers, the clues I'm giving you on how to select a consultant are based on my personal experience. It might be that you might come across another person's story where they've chosen the right consultant in a completely different way. So when I answer this question, it's based on me, my personal experience from past and with being a Sisterlocks consultant now. Okay, so public forums, very important. Initially, if you look out for a Sisterlocks consultant, let's say you find somebody, the first natural thing to do is to go onto sisterlocks.com to check them out. Please bear in mind, that's a great idea. Do bear in mind, there are Sisterlocks consultants who have chosen not to renew their membership fee or they've chosen not to be registered on the sisterlocks.com, and in the future that's more than likely going to be myself and again. Just so you know, credible Sisterlocks consultants decide not to be listed on Sisterlocks for credible reasons. So bear that in mind. Just because they're listed on sisterlocks.com doesn't mean they'd be a great consultant for you. So you need to do more than just go on sisterlocks.com. I would say if they have a website online, then check their website out, because you want to try and see evidence of work before you even approach them. But it is possible that you're going to choose somebody who's a great consultant, who has just done the training and is a trainee, but doesn't have the images or doesn't have the resources, because the course is quite expensive. So they might not have the resources to then post images online, or they might not even have started with their clients. I mean, it depends on your preference. Somebody started with myself and Agathe when we were trainees, when we first completed the course, and it wasn't a negative experience for her, and I'll actually post her feedback on our services. So it doesn't mean because every consultant has to start somewhere. Just because they don't have that evidence of work doesn't mean they won't be a great consultant to start off your locks. Ethos is very important. So if they don't have evidence of work, understand the ethos and the ethics behind why they've become a Sisterlocks consultant. Rather than interviewing a Sisterlocks consultant when you first call the consultant, it would be better to have a conversation, because when you throw questions and you're interviewing, sometimes you're not going to get the best information. From a conversation, which is two-way, you will get a lot of information. And bear in mind, as the consultant, you are asking questions to the consultant and deciding on the consultant. The consultant as well, a good Sisterlocks consultant, is deciding, do I want to take on this client? So it's a two-way thing. Not every Sisterlocks consultant would be online. So they would possibly have a lookbook, evidence of work on print. They might not even be kind of technologically savvy to text you or send an image or via their phone. But obviously when you go to see them, you will see their portfolio, and you should be able to make an informed decision on the basis of their portfolio. If there is a question mark about the images you see, there is an opportunity for you to ask the question. If you are not satisfied with the reply, that's a warning that consultant might not be right for you. It's a feeling when you've got the right consultant. You just know. And a lot of the times when I ask people why they've chosen us, they say, I just don't know. I just had a feeling. But I would encourage you, if you're looking for Sisterlocks consultant, to make sure you speak to more than one consultant. One of the key questions you could ask a Sisterlocks consultant to be clear on how they work is, how far down the lock, each lock do they lock? How far down each lock do they lock? That on the basis of that, you will know whether this, and if you've watched my other videos, you will know ideally the amount of locking that needs to happen for each lock. You'll then know whether that's going to be the right consultant for you. Another question that you could ask is, how would they be able to achieve maximum fullness for you with the Sisterlocks they're going to be installing? That's what most people want, is a maximum fullness. Now, on the basis of that answer, you will know. I could answer that question now, but I want someone to watch this video and get clues, but I don't want to give you answers because I don't really want somebody to see these answers and then kind of just regurgitate them. So ask the question, how would you be able to gain maximum fullness with my Sisterlocks? And also you need to ask the length. How far down the lock are they going to be locking? If you've done your research right, you will know Sisterlocks is very expensive. So if you've got somebody who is significantly cheaper, giving you a significantly cheaper quote in comparison to another consultant, that might be a warning, because if you understand the labor of Sisterlocks, it is labor intensive, and therefore the price is normally high for Sisterlocks. It is expensive. So bear that in mind. The worry would be that if somebody gave you a deal, would they work? And would they give you the maximum? Would they put all their energy into getting you, because it is tiring, into getting you the right Sisterlocks? Now, it's very important. This person asked about they want the authentic Sisterlocks. It's very important to understand that don't get caught up in number of locks. Don't get caught up in the number of locks. Some people can have Sisterlocks and it's going to be 300. Some people will have Sisterlocks, it might be. I'm going to read something to you. This is a book on the Maasai. It's basically African hairstyles and the history of African hairstyles. And I am reading from this page 30, and it is based on, if you follow us on the fan page, you will see we talk about the Hama and the Maasai, because for us, Sisterlocks started in Africa. Just to prove that it started in Africa, I'll read this passage to you now. Sisterlocks consultants would recognize similar wordings. Okay, so very long. The typical Maasai warrior, known as a Moran, grew his hair very long and had it styled by a fellow Moran. This arduous task sometimes took 15 or 20 hours to perform. First, the hair was parted from ear to ear, smeared with fat, red ochre and clay, and twisted into as many as 400 individual strands. So, before Sisterlocks, people were locking. That's the passage I was reading. And before Sisterlocks, people were creating 400 individual strands. So do not get caught up in it. Your locks could be 600, it could be 400, it could be 500, it could be 300 and something. It could even be 200 and something if you don't have a lot of hair. Don't get caught up in it. The most important thing is that you achieve the kind of size, the kind of finish you want. And with that, it's really hard to talk sizes, because that's why I say ask about how they're going to ensure or try as best as possible to give you maximum fullness, because on the basis of looking at your hair, we would then know what size to install into your hair. So be very careful with words. Look at actions. So what I mean by that is, if you contact the Sisterlocks Consultant, do they give you a telephone convo, a telephone mini interview, an interactive conversation online? Have they found out about your hair history? Have they invested the time in talking to you? It's not the length of time, it's the quality of the conversation. Have they had a conversation and understand what you want? That's very important. Another clue is, if you to decide on whether a consultant is right for you or not, talk about your concerns and your worries about getting Sisterlocks. There are many answers to different dilemmas, but on the basis of how a consultant answers your question, you will know whether they know what they're talking about or not, or whether they'd be right for you. Remember that it's not the number of clients they've worked with. Number of clients can look very impressive, but it's actually the quality of work they do. That's why I say, if you can find out online, if there's evidence of work online, or if they can send you images, that's great. But just because somebody have worked with thousands of clients doesn't necessarily mean they will be right for you. It is a feeling you get when you decide on Sisterlocks, or when you decide on your consultant, and it should not necessarily be based on number of clients they've worked with, but more of how present are they when they're talking to you, how interactive they are they aware of your story. It's important to establish for your questions to be answered. So is the consultant you're asking the question to, are they receptive to you asking questions? And are they answering your questions? You can, if you can connect with clients of that Sisterlocks consultant, that'd be great. Not everyone has clients who want to talk about their Sisterlocks experience, so bear that in mind. But where you can connect with those clients of the consultants, then that would be an added bonus. You would know whether they're the right consultant. So just to recap, it's about the size of your locks, not the number of locks. It's about researching and not just relying on sisterlocks.com, and asking key questions about how they would achieve the maximum fullness and body that you want, having the hair that you want. And public forums are a great way to get word of mouth recommendation. Also, you cannot make a decision on the basis of sample locks, because when we put sample locks in, we put them in with the knowledge that we're going to unpick them to repart the hair. So just because a consultant doesn't really lock to the tip for your sample locks doesn't mean they wouldn't be the right consultant for you. What we try to do is explain why we put in the sample locks in the way we do, but we do it with the knowledge that we will unravel it. So don't go on the basis of a tester lock, the tester locks that the clients go, that's the consultant install. But you can decide on the basis of a consultation, the full consultation, whether the consultant or consultants would be right for you. I've done a video on what to expect from a Sisterlocks consultation, but just briefly, what you want to do is walk away from that consultation and be excited and be calm knowing you've chosen the right consultant. And the way you know from the consultation is the quality of the information that you get, and the personality that's going to be working on your head. There is just a fusion that happens during a consultation, and you just know that person will be right for you. A consultation isn't like just come in, put a Sisterlock in and leave. A consultation should be a bit more in depth, preparing you for the beginning of your Sisterlocks. And my other video is going to be for Sisterlocks consultants or locticians. When we lock our client's hair, it's an ongoing relationship. So you want to make sure you're choosing the right energy to work with. So the next video, I'm hoping to do soon, or even maybe just after this one, is how do you choose the right clients? What tips I could share on making sure, or my experience, how I decide who would be right for Melissa to get to work on. Who would be right? Yeah. Thanks for watching this posting, and I hope it helps you choose the best consultants for you. And good luck with your journey. Good luck with your search. Take care of you. Bye.
Ah, well, mon nom s'appelle SK, original. Avec du ringer. Ada, lawyer, anything.